On tap, Double Stout Black Ale. Hi, I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority. Today, we are tasting Double Stout Black Ale from the Green Flash Brewing Company in San Diego, California. The company was founded in 2002 by Mike and Lisa Hinkley. Their flagship beer is their West Coast I.P.A. Double Stout Black Ale is an Imperial Stout with 8.8% ABV and 45 IBUs. Drink it out of a pint glass or snifter. The brewery says that the beer contains oats and roasted malts. They describe the hops as earthy and say that higher fermentation temperatures enhance the flavor with fruity esters. Chef, do you feel like the flavor is enhanced by fruity esters?
You know, I think that's probably the one thing that it's not. I don't really get a lot of fruity esters from it. I mean, I think you can pull out a little bit of fruitness, but
are you getting any dark fruits like raisin or anything?
Yeah, I mean, I can get just a slight little bit, but I think you get more of a chocolate kind of toffee sweetness, and then you get a little bit like we were talking about it before, and a little bit of that anise or that licorice style flavor to it. More than just a raisin flavor. Okay,
Scott, can you expand on his flavor description? Is that how you see it?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I see it as the same. It has a lot of molasses flavor to me is what I think of. It's not necessarily overwhelming, but it definitely has a lot of sweetness for what I would expect out of this beer. I don't know. It has alcohol flavor as well, so, I mean, I don't know. It's hard to explain this beer, but it gets better as it gets warmer, which is interesting.
Okay. Mark, would you say the alcohol is very present in this beer?
I don't think it's very present. I think that, after 2, 3, 4, 5 sips, once you actually start letting your palate get used to the barrage of wonderful sweetness and flavor that's getting pounded down, you start to pick up maybe a little bit more of some of the alcohol notes that you can find. It is a traditionally pretty warming, in the belly, and so the alcohol is definitely there. But on the nose, I didn't get it. Initially on the palate, I didn't get it, but it starts to show up a little bit a few sips in.
Okay. Chef, what is your rating, and what kind of situation would you drink this for?
I give it an 8. I think this is a solid double stout or imperial stout. I mean, there's a lot of great flavors in it, and I think, again, as it gets warmer, you can pull out more distinct flavors, and it's a smoother drinking beer. I think it was very compartmentalized when I first started drinking it, and now, all of the flavors kind of blend a little bit more together. As far as when to drink the beer, I mean, just pretty much any time. I mean, if you're a dark imperial stout lover, I don't see why you couldn't drink this and enjoy this at pretty much any time. I mean, it's not like more of a cold weather beer or more of a warm weather beer, or I don't think you would sit down and drink this at like a cookout or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think like if you're sitting down and enjoying beers with friends like we are right now, except for Mark here, I don't like that guy.
Right.
But
I understand.
Yeah. But I mean, I think sitting around with friends and just drinking beers, this would be one to go to.
Okay. Scott, what is your rating, and are there any other beers by Green Flash that stick out to you?
I'd give it a 7. I think it's a solid beer. I really like it. I think they do good work on all their beers, and one that stands out for me is their West Coast IPA. I really, really like that beer, and its characteristics aren't really, I guess, akin to this, but they have a great kind of piney, citrusy overtone. So I think they try to do it up in complexity with their beers, and I think they hit it with this one as well. It's a very complex beer that seems to change with the temperature. And I think their West Coast IPA is something that I think is similar in that as well, because I had that several times, and I've had it both over extended duration, and that beer actually for an IPA got better as it got warm as well, which was unique for me.
Mark, what is your rating on this one? What's your big picture on this beer?
I mean, the big picture for this beer, and the rating, by the way, for me was a 9. But the big picture for this beer is that I think that it's an overall pleasant drinking experience. I think that the beer looked good, and as the audience will notice when they see, the opening credits, they'll notice that, the way the head it was very reminiscent of a Guinness, which I thought that was really cool. But the beer looked really good in the glass. I mean, it's a very authentic to style good representation of, you know, a double or an Imperial Stout. I didn't really get too much in the nose of it initially until you start getting down a little bit and then agitate the beer, and you get a whole lot more of the good, you know, oat in there, some of the good maltiness, and some of the, you know, chocolate and toffee. And then the taste of alone is just incredible. You know, I think it's pretty close to an oatmeal stout, but a little bit more on the Imperial side with, you know, the hints of anise that are in there. It's got a real good roasted maltness to it that really works its way well with, I think, some of the, like, the sugary sweetness that's in there. So, I mean, overall, from start to finish, even from when you open the bottle till I find the bottom of this glass, it's been a pretty good drinking experience.
Okay. The packaging says big, bold, and complex. I'm throwing this out to everyone. Big, bold, and
me.
Complex.
That's me.
No, they've got it though. I mean, the crystal malts hit it off with me for this beer too. I think it is. I mean, he'll expand upon it, but they've got a lot of good things going on in this beer, and I do think it's pretty complex and it's bold, and I think they hit it pretty well.
I mean, I think it's a big beer. I think it's a complex beer. I don't know that I'd go as far as to say bold, but yeah, I mean, big, bold, complex. Sure, why not?
I think, you know, a little bit more distinguished flavors would make it a bold beer. I think that it's a complex beer where there's a lot of different flavors going on. It is a big beer. It's a high ABV beer, but it has that richness and that creaminess to it. But again, that bold portion of it, I don't know. I don't know if it's necessarily bold. It's not like stepping really far outside of the norm.
Double Stout Black Ale from Green Flash Brewing Company gets an 8.0 on the BBA rating scale. That's what we think about the beer. What do you think about this beer? What's your favorite Green Flash beer? Let us know in the comment section. Thanks for watching. I'm James Knott, and this is your Better Beer Authority.
Better Beer Authority.